Unity 1, just having fun.
We are test fitting some of the lights. Externally powered at the moment, they're only taped into place. You can see the front balance. The edge. And the rear, I'm not sure about placement, but I thought if I have them higher, you get this really cool looking effect through the grille and a reflection off the exhaust pipe, as well as the glow on the floor. So they're actually mounted way up there. So you can see behind the dashboard here, these purple wires are permanently live, regardless of ignition position. And the yellows are live with the ignition in position 1A with the ignition key inserted. They're not actually engine running. So I should probably come off the yellow, put some fuses off of that, and then I should be able to then connect up the lighting.
Please like, subscribe, and click the bell.
These lights are now up and properly connected. I just need to sort out the front wires. I'm going to connect up with some R-type clips when they arrive tomorrow, and the same along the back here as well. Okay, I'm now looking at possible positioning for some additional switches, considering installing a fan bypass switch where I can manually turn on the fans without waiting for the engine temperature to reach point. Handy if you're pulling up to a junction or you're going to be going somewhere sitting around for a while, you can just switch them on. As the car doesn't tend to like sitting around with the engine running. Also looking at having a light on switch on here to turn on the underglow lighting. May consider having a start stop button, and possibly another cigarette lighter thing is I can have some USB connections on it for charging up a phone or whatever, because it's obviously more convenient these days, which is something that wasn't considered when this car was released. And having a cigarette lighters in the actual doors themselves is not that useful as far as actually charging the phone and being able to have it mounted so you can use it for sat nav or something. Which is whether I can fit them all into this little slot along here. So at the moment it's just leather cover that covers over that, and there's a nice slot here already. So whether I'll fit 3 in here or whether I can fit 4, not sure. So here we go, probably go with something like this, so you can see them very well. I was going to use one of these light switch buttons here pointing downwards to indicate the underglow lighting. Start button, then the fan button, so when you're sitting here like this, also they'll be sitting there like that. Make it convenient to push the fan on. The start button possibly, and then the underglow. I may end up just swapping out the start button for just having another cigarette socket there. Can't really see anything on the video really. Okay, here we are. I'm testing the cabin lighting with fibre optics. I've now got the wires soldered and run through. I just need to be fixing properly. So I've got the ones in the quarter windows. There's a couple of bits up there should be hard beyond the trim up in the sunroof. There's some that will be running down the centre console. There you can see that they are, and also the ones in the footwells. You can quite see what is glowing in here. Here we are. The wires are run through. That's running at maximum brightness and doing a colour shift, which obviously you wouldn't have if you're driving. So I've got some LEDs over there wired in. It looks a bit of a mess at the moment, but it's wired up so that it goes into the same circuitry with the triggers off the laser. If I release my thumb here as if I'd open the door, you can see that the LEDs have come on, as have the other lighting, and obviously the standard lighting, and obviously you can turn that off separately. And if you push the button in, so if you close the door, it's going to work on the same delay time that you're going to have anything else, and then they go off. All well and good. Now, in addition to that, because this is a different kind of cabin lighting with the string lighting, I might want to switch that separately, which is this switch over here. So if I just put that there for a second, if I then put this on, turn this one on, whoop, you can now see that the cabin lighting has come on again. This is still switched on. Essentially what it's replicating is another door that's being opened, and that is that. That's one reason why I might have that switched off. The problem is, of course, is it then also goes to the same delay setup. Even when you then switch this off, whoop, you can see the light, even though the button is now switched off, the light is on, as are these, and it's going to be the same 20 seconds or whatever it happens to be before the lights go off, which they should go off in a second. There you go. I'm not sure if that's the kind of thing I want. It does give me the option that when I've got this string lighting in the cabin, I can manually turn on the string lighting, but it does mean that the door lights are going to be a light inside the door, and I just need to remember to turn that one off. We've got some string lighting I'm going to run around the sunroof and also along down the centre console. But kind of works.